Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Thursday the 21st of June 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at those overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. And really, it's a tale of two halves, if I can put it like that, to use a football analogy. The dollar pushing back against what I would call trade-related currencies, but also against the safe havens of the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc too. You can see here a significant loss for the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. We'll look at the reasons behind that specifically a little later on, but there are also gains for the US currency against the Mexican peso and to a lesser extent the Canadian dollar. Japanese yen was on the back foot, down by around 0.32%, as was the Swiss franc, giving up 0.2% against the US currency. Dollar index for its part building on its recent move above 95 to trade at 95.25 shortly before we recorded the video. Okay then, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today, and it's a pretty busy calendar, lots of red on this calendar, and we start with two key meetings. OPEC are meeting in Vienna today, and the Eurogroup meeting of the important ministers and leaders of Europe's economies are gathering as well. Now, data, we've already had the Reserve Bank of Australia bulletin for the most recent period, and to come at 7:30 we shall have the first of the day's central bank interest rate decisions, this from the Swiss National Bank. At 8:30 we'll also hear from Mr. Jordan, the governor of the Swiss bank, at his press conference, and in between that we shall have public sector net borrowing requirement for the UK for May. Moving on to 9:45 and the next of our central bank speeches, this time from German Bundesbank President Jens Wiedmann. Remember, of course, that the ECB symposium in Sintra is ongoing. And then at 11 a.m. GMT, the second of the day's central bank interest rate decisions, this one from the UK's Bank of England. They'll also, as it's a Super Thursday, be telling us about monetary policy, and the Bank of England minutes and voting schedule will be released at the same time too. At 12:30 GMT, we'll have, as it's Thursday, continuing and initial jobless claims out of the US. That'll be accompanied by the influential Philadelphia Fed manufacturing survey for June. And at 1 o'clock, house price index data out of the US for the month of April. 20:15 tonight, we'll see the Bank of England's Mark Carney give a speech. And then if you're still in the market at 23:30, you can see national CPI data for the month of May out of Japan. Right then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. First of all, New Zealand's Q1 GDP growth came in below forecast at plus 0.5% versus expectations of plus 0.6% quarter on quarter. The Kiwi economy showed clear signs of a slowdown and hence the move in the currency. Meanwhile, German industrial giant Daimler has warned on the profitability of its US plants and the company as a whole if the US tariffs on autos and parts go ahead as planned. South Korean leader Moon Jae-in begins a 3-day trip to Moscow, where he will meet with Russian diplomats for talks and give a speech to Russian MPs. And on a slightly lighter note, data released yesterday showed Belgian beer sales to the US are booming, even as Belgium's domestic demand falls. So trade wars might see the Americans cutting off their nose to spite their face to some extent. Right then, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. Why not think about this? Markets are by nature cyclical, but we don't always notice the changes as they happen around us. The charts opposite compare the returns on country-specific ETFs as of June 2017 to that seen today, and note the clear differences between the two tables, the 2017 returns here at the bottom and the 2018 returns here at the top. Average performance on a country basis in 2017 was plus 28%, whilst in 2018 it's minus 6%, exemplified of course here by the large amount of red in the 2018 table, and clearly many of the emerging markets are the ones that are showing a downturn. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and or foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about the risks involved in leveraged products or their suitability for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative. Thank you for your time.